The reason I wanted to be here tonight was first to acknowledge our New Zealand musicians, but also those who work in the industry, and give us such a source of pride on a daily basis. And I wanted to reflect a little bit on the past month, which for all of New Zealand has been an incredibly horrific time. But when it came to the period of grieving together and putting forward a program for a memorial service in Christchurch, when we turned our minds to that program, I have to tell you that the first thing that came to my mind was what music would be used to shape that moment, to shape that time, to shape that piece of our collective grief and history now. And so I did want to begin by just acknowledging, because I hope maybe he's here, Marlon, but also Teeks and Holly Smith for putting in music words that were so hard to speak and capturing a moment that was so important in our nation's history. But that's what music does. It captures moments of sadness, it captures moments of joy. And in the joy department, I have to say that there's nothing more joyful for me than watching my baby Neve discover music. And particularly that she seems to have quite a eclectic taste in music. I remember the first time I saw her in her jolly jumper when Metallica was playing, and it was quite the response. And I have to say, I'm going to test her now on alien weaponry as well, because I think she'd be into it. And to the guys from Alien Weaponry, it was an honour for me to present that prize at the Silver Scrolls a few down in Dunedin, and you are just incredible. And my only wish is that you'd been around when I was at high school, because the quality of music in the common room would have been vastly improved in Morrinsville had that been the case. But I'm here as well tonight to actually acknowledge those who make the music happen. And I know that all of our musicians would be pleased to see that added to the repertoire now of the Taites is this particular prize. It celebrates people in the industry. The Independent Spirit Award will be awarded annually to a New Zealander who assists New Zealand musicians to grow and find their own unique pathways. The inaugural award goes to someone who has been a recording artist and a performer for the past 40 years. A founding member of Independent Music New Zealand, he also served as its first chairman. He owned and operated local distributor Global Roots and was the major distributor for independent artists throughout New Zealand. This is someone who would put stock in the back of his car and drive around the country to sell copies of an album he really believed in. He's been the host of Border Radio on 95BFM for over 20 years, has built and managed independent record labels, was a founding board member of the New Zealand Music Commission, and has acted as a mentor and sounding board for many independent artists. In case that wasn't enough to go on, I'm now very pleased to present the very first Independent Spirit Award to Bernie Griffin.
I can't stop it anymore. My brain exploded.
This was such a surprise for me to get this award. I didn't even know it existed. If I'm not careful, it won't. And it's not just me. All the people on that board of Independent Music New Zealand during the early 2000s, in the last Labour government, I might add, worked hard to get New Zealand music going. On radio, through the flow of royalties and overseas travel. Not too much in the sun, mostly hard work. So I feel very privileged tonight to be given this award. And thanks very much.